Good morning, everybody. Ruth Thurtle, Business Results Catalyst, here with another Monday Marketing Morsel. Fabulous to have you here. Not sure what you've been up to this weekend. I've had a really lovely weekend and I'm so now excited and motivated and refreshed to get stuck into this coming week and helping some of my business clients to really start to see some results from their marketing with some of the really cool projects that we're working on together at the moment. So this morning we are finishing up our series of marketing fundamentals. So these are the things that you really need to have inside your business in order for you to be able to market your business effectively. So just as a reminder, we've looked at starting up here and is your mindset right? We then looked at knowing who it is that you're talking to, knowing who your customer is, your ideal. Then really understanding what it is that you actually have to offer. And then the fundamental of having an effective buying sequence and really understanding what that buying sequence is, what it looks like to you as the business owner, but also what it looks like to your customers. And so as we finish up this series today, the missing element for many people and the fundamental that I want to just draw to your attention, if you like, today is really being able to measure the results of what it is that you're doing. One of my clients and a mentor says to me that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And it's so true. Unless you actually know what it is that's happening in your business and can really measure the results that you're getting from the different aspects, then it's just virtually impossible for you to be able to adapt quickly enough to move forwards, for you to be able to see what you're just clinging on to from an emotional point of view and really need to get rid of, or what you maybe need to do more of. Because we kind of go a little bit on gut instinct as business owners. And you know what? I actually don't mind doing some of the things on gut instinct. For me, it's a faith thing. I know that part of my faith and my prayers and my answers to my prayers is very much that sense, that kind of feeling that I get. But I also know that I need to continue to measure, to analyze, to manage what is going on in my business. And for myself and for many of my clients, this is actually something that doesn't come naturally. There are accountant type people. There are people with a lot of that sort of steel metallic energy. For those of you that have heard me talk about energies and the wealth dynamic energies before, where for them, that side of measuring it actually comes incredibly easily. And if that's you, then you probably already have this really, really nailed in your business already. And that's fantastic. But if you're like me and that maybe doesn't come so easily, I'd quite happy getting out there, meeting people and chatting and putting things in place and automating things in my business. But then when it comes to actually measuring it, I have to work on that. And so when I talk about this being a fundamental, this comes from my own experience of not doing it and seeing that there's been things that I've hung on to because I thought they were working. I thought they were a great idea. I thought they were things that, the market was going to love. But when I actually stopped and thought about it, and my accountant kind of wrapped their arm around me and said, let's have a look at this. Let's think about this from a factual point of view, that actually the reality was somewhat different. So for you, if you want to remain profitable, if you want to remain ahead of the game, if you want to be able to adapt in a world that is constantly changing as it is right now, we're in a world where, things don't stay the same month on month, year on year. And so you need to really break down your business and have a look at what's happening. You need to have a look at, and I'm just going to give you some ideas on some of the things that you really want to measure. You really want to have a look at which of your product or service lines are bringing you in the profit. Which of your product or service lines are actually costing you by the time you take into account your marketing, your maybe affiliate costs, your actual cost of sale, any of those kind of things. Which are the things that, you really need to just let go of? And which are the conversion methods, the parts of we spoke about it last week, your actual sales process. What is it in your sales process that's working and what is it that isn't? Are your one-on-one conversations working really well but not your group conversations? Is your face-to-face working well but not your online? And you've got a couple of options. Once you can measure this, then you can look at it and you can either educate yourself so that you continue to leverage and be effective and all of those kind of things, or you can drop certain ways of doing things and really get down to getting absolutely fantastic at the things that are already working. The choice of what you do with it is yours, but unless you're measuring and constantly have those things in place, you just don't know. From a marketing point of view, this seems so far away from the creative, let's go out there and get customers in, that sometimes I know marketers don't necessarily talk about this. And I know for many clients that come to me, they want me to do the creative stuff. They want me to get the business in for them. And I'm more than happy to do that. But this is absolutely key and fundamental, because what I don't want you to do, I don't want you spending money, whether that's spending money on my services, spending money on any of the automation, spending money on any of the marketing, if you don't know that it's working, or if you don't have a way of checking whether it's working. Now, I'm not talking about putting something in place and getting results overnight, because that doesn't happen. Marketing can be a month, 2 month, 3 month lead time, depending on what you're doing in your target market and all of those kind of things. And in fact, I was talking to a client this week who said they wanted to just hang off on doing things because they were busy until January. And I said, January is going to be here before you know it. And so we need to put some plans in place now so that come January, you then continue to be busy rather than going through that yo-yo for business. So I'm not talking about instant results. I'm not talking about running a Facebook ad today and measuring tomorrow whether you've got 200 new customers. But what I'm talking about is consistently being able to see and measure and having those plans in place. So what is it that you're doing? What are the marketing methods that you have, that you're employing? What are the products or services that you sell? What are the different methods that you have for sales and for conversion? And what are you doing to measure your results in each of those 3 areas? If you don't have something in place for every single one of those, then you need to do that. And it needs to happen very, very quickly, because otherwise you are wasting your time. You are pushing yourself, and you might just be banging your head against a brick wall. And I don't want that for you. So that's it. That's the end of the series of fundamentals. As usual, I'd love to know, I'd love to hear from you. What are you going to be doing differently? What are you going to change, if anything? What's working well for you already? And of course, if I can help you in any way, please give me a shout. Next week, we're going to be having a look at time and marketing and planning and all of those things, because I often hear I don't have time for that. So we're going to spend a few weeks having a look at planning and timing and making time for things. So I'll see you then. Until then, have a fabulous week, and I'll catch you next Monday. Ruth Thurtle, Business Results Catalyst. See you later.